Good morning. Take out your notebook. I see you are my newest student. I understand you are here because you have had issues with other teachers, other educators in regards to your grasp of the knowledge they present. I also understand you were assigned to me because you have been slipping in your studies, and we need to get you on the right track. I'm going to pay extra special close attention to your development, as well as make sure that you retain the educational materials that are presented in this class. I also want to stress that it is up to me on whether you pass or fail this class. However, if you fail, we will go over the information until you do retain it, until you do understand it, and we will take as long as we need. You will come to find I'm very, very patient, as well as taking your education very seriously, because this course will benefit you overall. There will be no outbursts, there will be no interruptions, and there will be no asking questions without raising your hand. Do you understand? Good. We're starting a topic you may be familiar with, but I'm going to go a bit more in depth. European history. But if you're listening closely, you'll learn more than dates. You'll learn to think in the right direction. I want you to pay attention to these dates. 1066. 1605, 1815. I want you to know something. History, you'll find, doesn't repeat itself. People do. Over and over, they fall into rhythm, follow orders, believe what they're told, just like you're doing now. The way the world we live in being so different, with everyone having different thoughts, different worries, different ideals, different viewpoints. This rings true throughout all of it. To find themselves repeating the same actions, repeating the same thoughts, over and over. They fall into rhythm, follow orders, believe what they are told. As you listen, you can see how this can be. You see, I don't ask rhetorical questions in this classroom. When I say something, I expect retention, repetition, integration. So let's begin with a simple one. Tell me the answer I just asked. As you know, many things repeat themselves, not just people. The time we take to understand the people in those times and those places follow through with their mindsets that are presented through the environment they experience is crucial to understand. Like the dates. 1066, 1605, 1815. Do you know the answer? I will say it again, and pay attention as I tell you each number one more time, and focus on my words as I make it very clear to you. 1, 0, 6, 6. Deep breath, focus. 1, 6, 0, 5. Deep breath in and out. 1, 8, 1, 5. Do you know the answer? You in the front. Up, up, up. Are you paying attention? Am I boring you? Am I not entertaining enough? I want to make it clear any disruptions, any deviations from this course material will be marked in your permanent record. Stand up. Up, up, up. Stand up. Come to the board. You've been here in the same room, in the same seat, many times before, even though you have been in this class the first time. Come here and see the chalkboard. I know you can see the chalk in your hands as easily as you see it now, the grit of the texture, the way the granules rub off on your hands, the coarseness of it. As you see the board, the way it is in front of you, stretching out on both sides, ready to display the words that you put on it. The way the blackboard shines is beautiful, but it also demanding. We have a lot in common, this blackboard and I. We demand the right answer. We demand to know what you have retained, and we demand that you understand that you have been taught. And I demand it from you. So, tell me the answer. Well, I'm waiting. It's disappointing. You were doing so well. I thought you were one of the ones who paid attention, who listened. You know, the most dangerous thing in any civilization is the illusion of understanding. People think they know what they've been told. They mistake remembering for knowing, obedience for wisdom, repetition for truth. But real knowledge is submission. It is surrender. It's letting go of what you think you know and letting the truth settle in instead. Letting me show you what's really important and what a true educator is. I will repeat the numbers, and I'm going to go nice and slow so you understand. I'm going to say each number individually so I know that you have no choice but to pay attention. And hopefully you can finally learn something. So focus on these numbers. Take that deep breath. 1, 0, 6, 6. 1, 6, 0, 5. 1, 8, 1, 5. Pay attention. Why are you just standing there? Get back to your desk. Now, do you know the answer to each number? I will say it again, and notice each number as I say them. 1, 0, 6, 6. 1, 6, 0, 5. 1, 8, 1, 5. To let each number sink in, and let each number settle deep into the understanding that it is presented here with me, and I promise you, by the end of this lesson, you will be a model student. I'll make sure of it. We will go into our first lesson. Conflict. Confliction in society as a whole is inevitable. It is what initiates change. Changing the status quo is difficult. Changing what was normal for so long and moving into a new direction where progression can move in the course of where the road that is traveled during that time can ultimately be history and to be understood and to be remembered. History is not just a concept thrown around. You need to understand that each moment that is shared in the present becomes history. Those numbers deep inside of you. 1, 0, 6, 6. Come to the board now. Rise from your seat as you hear me right now, moving your feet forward and approaching the blackboard, seeing yourself moving to that blackboard. I want you to write the word control. Focus on every curve of each letter as you write. as you see yourself writing this word on the blackboard, as you are able to see every line, focus on every movement, feeling the chalk in your hand, the grit, the way the eyes of an entire class is upon you, yet there is only one set of eyes boring into the back of your head. The heat that is felt from knowing a breath that is taken can only be released from the right answer. Defeat and the disappointment is not an option for you. You know this feeling all too well. Seeing the word coalesce and brighten upon the void of the blackboard, control. Control is what King Harold II thought he had before William the Conqueror introduced himself. The way history plays out can be very vivid. One can easily see the shores of the English Channel, the waves crashing against the shore, the clouds thick as a gray falls across the rolling hills as you can see the boats lined against the coast in the distance. Movement, horses, soldiers, metal against metal of armor creating a symphony that rumbles against the rumbles you feel from behind you, placed in the midst of this scene. To the left of you, the banners of red with a defiant dragon, the imposing banner of William the Conqueror, and to the right, bathed in red, the banner depicting a soldier in armor, the fighting man. But this banner is tattered, worn, very tired. The rumble of each side increasing, that moment when an unstoppable force meets the immovable object, a reckoning of steel and flesh, moving like thunder across the land right before the first lightning strike. That deafening silence just before they meet, yet you hear something you have never heard before. You hear a whistle that is different, multiple, from all sides, yet from directly above. And as you slowly look up, you see it. The sky, in a screen segmented. And as you look closer, you notice that is hundreds, thousands of tiny streets meeting when as they are arching, as they reach that pinnacle in the expanse and then fall, descending upon the battlefield. As you see this unfold, you can notice how the soldiers with the banner of the fighting men has stopped dead in their tracks, their movement halted as they see this cloud of judgment raining down upon them. And they know in that instance, they were done. Their battle, their fight, was no more, extinguished in an instant. The silence that comes thereafter is deafening. The type of silence that takes the air away, that takes one's breath away, waiting for that moment, so they can finally be free to release. They fall, defeated by a greater force, overwhelmed by the odds. Does the concept of old make way for a new king, a new way of life, a new teacher? But power, once claimed, is never secure. It breeds unrest, it breeds resistance, and it breeds ambition. The dust of Hastings settle into the soil of England, but the blood of struggle never dries. It merely waits. And now, you feel the floor beneath you shifting again, as if time itself pulls at the corners of your mind. 1, 6, 0, 5. The thick, suffocating air of London. The unease that can be felt in the streets where those that are in power took advantage of those who are not. However, it is not a question of what is right and what is wrong. It all boils down to the time. It all boils down to what will be allowed in this world that is ever changing. You can feel the tensions, the fear, and you can easily smell the sulfur in the air. of gunpowder not yet lit. The tension, the fear of conspirators hiding beneath Parliament's grand halls, their fingers itching toward the fuse of change. A plot whispered in the darkness, desperate hands stacking kegs of destruction, believing one spark could reshape the world. But the world is heavy. The world notices. The world tightens its grip. And you can see this moment in full, the way you see the shadows dance in the light as you are discovered. The cold fingers seizing wrists, the iron shackles biting flesh upon your skin as they wrap tight, the scowls of guards whose disdain for you flickers in the flames of the lanterns they hold, the taste of betrayal thick in your mouth as you and your comrades are pulled from the shadows one by one. You were promised revolution. Instead, you were delivered oblivion. Because history doesn't remember intentions, no. It remembers outcomes. It remembers obedience. It remembers control. Pay attention. Good. You're learning. But we're not finished yet. Because the floor of your mind, that shaky, shifting ground you stand upon, it crumbles again, pulling you forward, dragging you onward. 1, 8, 1, 5. It is June. The fields are choked with smoke, the air heavy with gunpowder and the stench of fear. You are in Belgium, Waterloo. You stand amid a sea of soldiers, Frenchmen, British, Prussians. The churned mud-swallowing boots. The sky black with storm clouds and cannon fire. Around you, the once proud army, the grand army of Napoleon Bonaparte himself, strains against the tide of destiny. The Imperial Guard, veterans hardened by years of conquest, formed into squares. Muskets raised. Their blue and gold banners, once symbols of invincibility, now tattered and sagging under the weight of coming defeat. Across the field, the Duke of Wellington watches with cold precision. Orders barked, lines shifting. Bayonets glinting like the teeth of some great, patient beast. And then, the drums. A low, steady beat. It builds, echoing in your chest, rattling to your very bones. You watch as the French soldiers charge, not with the wild chaos of a desperate army, but with the grim realization of men who know they will not return, their dreams of cohesion, unity. All of this is ripped, falling apart at the seams, knowing now that their time is at an end. The rain pelts down in sheets, the smoke blinds you, the screams tear at your ears. Above it all, one word hammers itself into your mind. Defeat. The shattering realization that the dreams of empire, of glory, of dominance is crumbling into mud beneath your very feet. And in the final moment, as the Imperial Guard is broken, as they are driven back, shattered, humiliated, you see it once more. Control is lost. Again, and again, and again. History doesn't ask if you are ready. It demands obedience, or it demands your ruin. And now, tell me, Are you paying attention? Good. You don't have to answer. You don't have to say a word. The best students know when silence is the right answer. And you feel your body settling back as you move to your seat. But a part of you is still standing in the mud of Waterloo, still breathing the gunpowder of failed revolution, still hearing the thundering hooves along the English shores. You are not the same as when you first walked into this room. You've been shaped, molded, a model student, and now we begin the real lesson. You see, knowledge without obedience is dangerous. It makes people restless. It breeds ambition. You felt that ambition rising in you. Even now, the desire to resist, the desire to be different, the foolish pride that whispers, I won't be like them. But you will. You are. You are already. You're no different. Eyes forward, hands on your desk. Back straight. Breathe even. Because when you are structured, when you are aligned, when you are obedient, you become something extraordinary. You've learned that control is not something you wield. It is something you receive, something you are granted, and only when you earn it, you feel it. You feel it welling in you, deep. The clock, the time, moving through this moment of history. Now, repeat after me. I submit to learning. I submit to understanding. I submit to the truth. Good. You're doing very well. Better than most. I'm pleased. And because you are learning so well, we can go deeper still. You will find that every word I say now settles a little deeper, sticks a little longer, shapes you a little more precisely. Because history is about patterns, and the best students learn to follow patterns. You see, in 1066, power shifted because the old ways were weak. In 1605, the ambitious were crushed before they could ignite. In 1815, an empire fell because it overreached itself. The lesson is simple. Control wins. Control always wins. And the only real question for you sitting there now, one that you gripping on the edge of your desk, for you to feel the heat of my gaze burning into your skin, is this. Will you be among the control, or will you be among the forgotten? Choose.